Okay, hi everybody. This is Victoria Pluckenpohl, and I am super excited that you decided to pop onto my webinar. And by the mere fact that you have, I am going to just make the assumption that you are ready for extraordinary. So let's just repeat that. I am ready for extraordinary. Say it again, say it loud. I can't hear you, but imagine that I can, and I'm all the way in China. So I am ready for extraordinary. Excellent. Well, I am super excited that you're here because I'm going to talk to you about how you can create an extraordinary life. Take what you're passionate about and turn it into your profession, and then become passionate about your profession. And that is the best way to live your life, I promise you. So we're going to go through what this means for you, right? So creating residual income, spending more time with your family, increasing or uplifting your health and the health of your family and your friends, helping others by doing something that, again, you love and that you're passionate about, and finding purpose and making impact. This is what we're going to be talking about in a little bit more detail in this webinar. How do we create this? So you're probably wondering who I am and who am I to be sharing my advice and my story and my experience with you. So let me just tell you, I have been an expat for 23 years. And for those of you who may not be familiar with that term, it means that I have lived outside of my home country. My home country is America. I have lived in 6 different countries, and I have 3 gorgeous children, as you can see in the photo there. I have struggled with a lot of health issues myself. Started at age 21, I had a heart attack, and I had surgery, and I am fine now, of course, but I spent some time on the cardiac ward at UCSF in San Francisco, and I made a decision right then and there that I was not going to do anything to put myself back on the cardiac ward. And that's really when I started getting into kind of the fitness and nutrition, everything that we knew back in the 80s about living that healthy lifestyle. So I knew not to smoke, not to drink, not to do drugs, those kind of basic things. And I was doing great for a long time. And then about 7 years ago, I started to get really sick again. And I actually didn't know that I was sick. I actually thought that I was having a nervous breakdown or something, to be honest, because I felt quite anxious. Now, at that time, I'd had 2 teenagers, and we had just adopted Kaylin, and she was a baby. So I was feeling like maybe I had bitten off more than I could chew. Started losing weight, which, you know, the first couple of pounds, that was great. You can never, lose enough weight, sadly, in our society. But then it started coming off quite a bit. My hair was falling out, and something was wrong. And I remember saying to my husband, I just want to go home. I need my mom. And so I did. I actually flew from China back to the United States. And as soon as my parents picked me up from the airport, they literally took me to the doctor, and I was in a thyroid storm. And the disease that I was diagnosed with actually turns out to be triggered by stress and toxins. During that process and that time of my life, I did end up losing my thyroid. And I do have to take a supplement, but it kind of up-leveled my interest once again in living a healthy lifestyle. And I started researching toxins. That was really the first time it came onto my radar screen in such a powerful way. So I started, everybody in my family had to detox now, right? So we were doing all these cleanses and all the things that I could find. Up-leveled our nutrition again and all those things. So by the time I was actually introduced to doTERRA, I was really open to natural solutions. Another thing that had happened was that our little one had been diagnosed with a blood disorder. So I was really intentional about her health as well. And so when I was introduced to doTERRA, I took it quite seriously because I don't live in a house where I can just, oh, hey, let's try this and rub these on you and see what happens. I have to be very, very specific and very careful about what touches Kaylin in particular. So my friend gives me this box of oils, and I went home and I started researching. Home being in China, so it wasn't like I could do a whole lot except for what I could find on the internet, and started really diving in to essential oils. Then I started looking at the company, and I started looking at the founders of the company, and I started looking at the science of the oils, and then the difference between doTERRA oils and everybody else's oils. And really, to be honest, it was a couple of months of intensive research. It's kind of my personality as you get to know me. Anyway, I can remember at one point thinking, if these really do what they say they do, this is going to be a game changer for me. And guess what? It has been such a game changer, such a life changer for me. And I am so thankful to my friend who introduced me to the oils, because it has literally up-leveled my family's health, changed our lives in so many ways. And that's why I'm excited. That's why I'm passionate. That's why I'm doing this webinar, because I want to share my journey with you, and I want to help you on your journey. So who is this for? On a personal level, do you want to up-level your own physical or emotional health, that of your family, that of your friends? Are you passionate about health and wellness? Are you open to those types of things? Do you want to control your time? That was a big one for me. So my husband travels a lot. My kids are now kind of all over the world, my little one's with me. So time is very valuable to me. Do you like helping others? Because really that is the core of what doTERRA is. It is truly about helping others in all different areas of their life. And do you want to live a life of purpose? And be a part of a global community? I mean, quite honestly, my team is in 29 countries at last count. I don't know, my husband updates me on this, but that's the last number I heard. And so this has been a phenomenal experience for me. And it's only been about 2.5 years right now, and absolutely exciting, and friends everywhere. And, you know, I love this picture. You know, doTERRA has given this mom more time with her family. Does it matter? Absolutely. This is the most important thing. It's just time with your family, with your friends, for yourself, doing what you love. And that's what we're going to be talking about. Now, on a business level, you know, who is this for? Again, you know, do you want to supplement your income? Have an uncapped residual income? Do you want to bring your husband home or take some of the pressure off of him? Do you want to pay off loans or just supplement your future, your retirement? I've got friends right now, 2 sets of friends that I'm thinking of right now, who kind of did their time at very large companies, and just right on the brink of retirement, they were downsized. And they are both finding themselves unable to maintain the lifestyle that they had become accustomed to while they were working. And now, you know, they're in their late 50s, and they're, well, one is downsizing their life and moving away from their home, and the wife is struggling a little bit with those decisions. And the other side, the husband has had to go back to work to start over, do consulting, and just that on both ends of that spectrum, they have not been able to maintain their lifestyle. And now they're both looking at my business with me as a way that they can get that lifestyle back. And not only get that lifestyle back, but keep it going forward in an even bigger and better way. So it's a really exciting opportunity, and I'm so excited to share it with them. And you know what? Be your own boss and control your own time. And these 2 friends that I was just sharing about, they are very excited about the be your own boss part, because, you know, the reality is that they both put in 20 and 30 years building somebody else's dream, who then just cut them off right at the finish line. And if you're your own boss and you're creating your own company and your own organization, that's not going to happen, right? Because you're going to be the one in charge. And then also, if if you want the ability to just work from home, set your own hours, work from around the world, I will tell you, I travel quite a bit, and it doesn't matter, because as long as I have my phone or my laptop, I can be as effective anywhere in the world as I can right here in my home office. So it's super exciting because, like I said earlier, I have kids. So I have a daughter in New York City, and I have my son who's studying in London and Bhutan. And my mom is in Colorado, and so I can be anywhere at any time, and I don't have to call and ask anybody, and I don't have to close down and say, I'm out of the office for 2 weeks. I can just keep right on going. And maybe you just want a new career. Maybe you've been kind of stuck in a rut or stuck in a beige cubicle, or doing something that you're not passionate about, doing something that you don't feel like you're excited to get out of bed in the morning for. So you want to look at something different. And what I love about this opportunity is that you can kind of do this on the side until you create enough income where you can put that away. So it's not like, oh, you have to quit your current career and then start a new one. You can kind of transition with this, which is super exciting. I've seen a lot of people do that. Now, this is just one of my team members who I absolutely adore, and you can read the quote there, but she is, I guess you would call her a millennial. And she's like, hey, you know what? I've seen what this has done for my parents, and I don't want that life. I'm going to create something different. I know I want freedom. I know I want to control my calendar. I know that I want to be my own boss. All of these different elements for the millennials in particular, they're very excited about this. And she is just knocking it out of the park in Vietnam and having a blast. And it's such a thrill to work with her. Okay, so I shared a little bit about why I chose doTERRA on a product research level, right, before I was going to let it touch my daughter. But it is the #1 essential oil company in the world, and there are more than 4 million wellness advocates around the world who are using and loving the products. Essential oils is one of those things, it's been around for thousands of years. It has worked for thousands of years in many different civilizations. There's ancient writings about the essential oils. Millions and millions of people have used them throughout history and are continuing to use them today. So you've got to kind of say they work. Why would people still be advocating for essential oils if they didn't work? And doTERRA, with their certified pure therapeutic grade testing, is the #1 oil in the world, and we are just exploding. It's very exciting. We are more of a clinical oil, more of a medicinal oil, much more so than just like a perfume smell good oil. I love this industry. The health and wellness industry is more than $3 trillion in sales, and we are just a small part of that right now, but we are taking over as people are becoming more and more educated about toxins, about synthetic medications, about side effects of prescription drugs, things like that. People are becoming more and more open to natural solutions, and so we're just on the brink of taking a bigger piece of that $3 trillion pie. So right now is an absolutely phenomenal time for you to get started in doTERRA. And the network marketing industry is also an amazing industry. And some people have a negative connotation about it because they get confused with network marketing and maybe a pyramid scheme or something like that. Network marketing is taught at Harvard Business School. It is a legit, phenomenal opportunity. It's an accessible business model where anybody can rise to the top. And that's one of the things I love about it. One of my mentors went to Harvard Business School. She actually got her MBA as well at Harvard Business School. And she chose network marketing after having a corporate career, right? She was like, well, this is not working out for me. I'm away from my children all the time. I'm putting in 80 to 100 hours a week of work and building somebody else's dream. And because she was so smart, she's shifted over to network marketing where it is unlimited and for everyone. I also have friends in this industry who didn't graduate from high school who are 7-figure income earners. So if you've got the desire to be extraordinary and you've got the drive to change your life, this is for anyone. And I am so passionate and thrilled and willing to work with you and educate you on the differences of this industry. It gives you the freedom to choose your own lifestyle and to create that residual income. And that residual income can be at any level you want, right? So you can create a little bit and work a little bit and just have it become a side income, or you can replace your current income, or you can say, you know what, sky's the limit. I'm just going to keep going and keep changing lives and become free to give is what I like to call it. You know, it's like you want to make enough to create the lifestyle that you want, but once you get there, you can give it away. And that's a really cool place to be. There's a global community of support. Like I said, my team alone is in 29 countries. So wherever you happen to have friends and family, we'll figure it out for you. And it's a relationship business where you're helping other people. And I love that. I'm not successful unless I help other people be successful. So you probably want to know, how did I do it, right? I've only been in a little over 2 years, and I made a 6-figure income in just 14 months. And I'll tell you this, I committed to my decision to do it. So once I studied and researched the oils, and I encourage you to do that, right? I mean, I'm a nice person, I'm an honest person, and I have integrity, but you don't know me necessarily, so you might not, want to trust everything I say, and I'm so okay with that. So I encourage you to do the research and try the products. And then when you have those health transformations, like I did, like my daughter did, like my husband did, I tell you what, my man used to struggle with jet lag a lot, and we've got oils for that. So he's very happy. But you have to make that decision. So when I started seeing how wonderful these products were, I decided I'm going to do this. And my first reason was because I really believe in my heart that everybody needs these oils. Maybe the business isn't for everyone. That's cool. If you're happy where you are, be where you are. If you want to have an extraordinary life and change things up, join me. But the oils are for everyone. And so my first commitment with the business was I needed to share how to live a healthier lifestyle. And so I made a commitment to do that. Then I started making money, and I saw that I could actually start funding my why, right? So that was another thing, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But as I shared also, I believed in the company, the products, and the industry, but what I didn't know was like, really, could I do this in a big way? So I had to believe in myself as well. So I started reading a lot of books and doing a lot of homework and really developed that and started just making it happen. I got out of my comfort zone. I quit taking no's personally. I actually, honestly, when people say no to me, I feel sad for them because I'm like, just try the oils because this is so good for your family. Please, I feel sad in my heart. But you know what? Everybody has a right to make their own decisions. But I started feeling like I have to just kind of share. And when somebody says no, it's on them. It's not on me. I try to help them to change their life, and that's completely up to them. And I just move on and ask the next person. I also, once I really studied the compensation plan and saw the business opportunity of this, I started treating it like a business. This no longer became hey, I think I'll teach a class once a week and share this with my friends. It started becoming more of a hand the receipts over to my husband so he could track it for the taxes and things like that. I started treating it like a business. I started putting things into my calendar and then doing what my calendar said. I call it obeying my calendar. So, and I did that every single day. So I did what said I was going to do, and I obeyed my calendar. And I will be honest with you, sometimes I'll put something in my calendar 2 weeks out, and I might be like, but it's kind of like going to the gym, right? It's in your calendar. Some days you don't feel like going, but you always feel better that you did when it's done. So I've learned that that's the reality with this as well. So I just every day put something in my calendar and I just do it. So, and I started with small, realistic goals. I think some people put their hand up and say, I want to be a millionaire. And that's a big bite, right? So start off with small, realistic goals, whatever that means for you. That's where the personal coaching comes in and the strategizing. Maybe for you, just $500 a month is going to make a difference. And that's really all you have time for. Maybe it's $5,000 a month. I don't know what the number is for you, and I don't know what the goals are and the steps are that we're going to need to take to get you there, but we can figure that out. That's what I've gotten really good at. I have taken advantage of all the free resources and trainings, and I've developed some of my own, and I will work with you on how to take advantage of that yourself. And I took the time to understand how the oils could lead to a healthier life. So again, when I was first doing the research, it was kind of on the general base level of essential oils and how doTERRA sources them and tests them and supplies them. But then within that, there's like a lot of different oils, right? So I needed to figure out, what does juniper berry do? What is that good for? What does lavender and lemon and peppermint, what are all these oils for? So I started, making it a habit every day to learn one oil. Just learn about one oil a day, and taking it seriously, because that allows me to help people better. And I use the business as an opportunity to help myself and my family and others. And I just became really consistent with doing that, just being open to helping. So do what you love. Making money doesn't mean you have to do anything less than what you love. Use your unique talents for your personal success. So I use a book that I highly recommend for your life, no matter what you decide. You should read a book called Strength Finders 2.0. And what this does is this helps you discover what your own personal strengths are, and then we learn to play to your strengths, right? So I've got a lot of people on my team who are very maybe timid, shy, introverts, you would say, but they're very gifted in developing one-on-one personal relationships, but they're not so excited to stand in front of a big crowd and talk, right? So we use their strengths in that area. I have a couple of guys on my team that are like super science nerds, right? They love that. So guess what I have them do? The science stuff. Hey, can you do a science video for me? That'd be awesome. Hey, can you come teach a class on, the chemical makeup of the, I play to their strengths, and that's what we would do with you, because I don't want to put you out of your comfort zone so much so to the point that you leave. There's one element of having some personal growth, but there's another element of terrifying somebody and having them never come back. So we don't want to do that. So doing what you love will enrich your life and uplift your family. I promise you, because when you are excited to get out of bed in the morning, when you are happy about what's on your calendar, when you are fired up because somebody on your team just shifted something in their life, your whole family lifts up. Like the entire feeling in my house has just up-leveled. We've always been kind of a happy family. I don't want to make it sound like we were in a dark cave before and now we're in the light, but we've all just got this level of excitement and happiness and joy from me really doing what I love, and actually my whole family has kind of gotten involved, and we just all love it. So you can do what you love and help others enrich their lives as well, and it kind of becomes this contagious duplication process, right? Because people will see you getting healthier, they'll see you getting happier, they'll see your family kind of being better, whether it's just physically, emotionally, or financially, and then people will start coming to you and being like, tell me again what you're doing, because they want that for themselves. And then it in turn just passes that baton on to the next person. So it's awesome to be able to do what you love and just change not just your life, but the life of so many people that come into your sphere of influence. So what doTERRA is not. Okay, so when you join doTERRA, this is not a pyramid scheme. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is an at-home business opportunity. So you do have to work. So if you've dropped into this webinar because you're hoping I'm going to tell you something about, sign up and give me some money, and then presto magic, you're going to have this empire. That's not reality. And if somebody does tell you that, you might want to, I don't know, keep a hold of your money. That old saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. This is actually a community of like-minded people who want to change the world, quite honestly. And so it is a business. You do need to do some things on a daily basis to grow it and to nurture it and to make it successful. And I will coach you and train you through all of that. I do have to say, you're not really selling a product. I mean, some people do, and that's totally cool. If you have a salon or a spa or something like that where you have a shop and you want to sell the product retail, you absolutely can. But this is more promoting or sharing a lifestyle. I don't share or sell, I don't sell the oil. So, it's not like I'm like, oh, here's a bottle of lavender and that's going to be, this much money and I put it in my pocket. No, we pay the same price for the oils. And I teach you how to get your oils for wholesale, but then I will teach you how to share this lifestyle and create a residual income from that. And this is not a 9-to-5 job with a boss, right? This is you doing this in the pockets of time that you have. So if you are a student, so my daughter was at an Ivy League university. It was very high pressure. She didn't have a whole lot of time, but she loved the oils, and she was sharing the oils with a lot of her classmates, some of whom have joined now with us because the oils work. So she had very little time, but she loved the oils and she was sharing them. Now she's graduated and she's working on Wall Street and starting to now build on the side, because her dream is to probably one day get married and have kids and be able to stay home and have an income that allows her to do that. Of course, she also wants to just partner and work with her mom, because that would be so much fun. But so this is something you do in the pockets of time. I love that I create my own schedule and my own calendar. And when I need to go home to the United States, I'm not calling anybody and asking if I can go. I'm just scheduling it in my calendar. So it's just an unbelievable opportunity. So let's talk about what joining doTERRA is. Okay, so what joining doTERRA is. Now, I could read off a whole list of facts and statistics and figures, but that's really not customizing it to you. So what I want to do right now is like a little visualization exercise. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to visualize, what would this look like for you? What would feeling great every morning when you wake up look like for you? What would that feel like to every morning open your eyes and feel great and be excited to be getting up? How would that look like for your family if they saw you jumping out of bed like that? What would the extra income look like for you? What would you do with that extra money? How much money do you need to change your life? What would you do with it? Would you pay bills off? Visualize paying off your student loans. Visualize paying off credit card debt, paying off your mortgage, paying off your parents' mortgage. What does that look like for you? Because that is what joining doTERRA is. It's whatever you can visualize it to be for yourself. So open your eyes. Isn't that exciting? I mean, I guess I read a lot of books and I watch a lot of videos on this stuff, and sometimes people say, what's your dream? It doesn't have to be a dream. Whatever you think about can come about. Whatever you can visualize. I have a vision board. I have my my set of attractions every day. And I meditate on these things because this is what I want to create in my life. My life, my goals, my visions, my purpose. But that's not yours. So you really need to think about what yours is, and then we need to make a plan to help you get there. Now, the reality is that there was a study done in the United States, I want to caveat that that's the country it's done in, that said how much money a month would change your life. And the average answer was $250 a month would change somebody's life. Now, of course, that's going to change anybody's life, but overall in this study, $250 a month would change their life. And there was a lot of fun comments about, that's a car payment, I could get a new car, my husband and I could go out to dinner and a movie and pay for a babysitter, and so it's something different for everybody. But just $250 a month would change most people's lives in America. I can teach you how to do that in 30 days if you follow my system. I could get you a little beyond that if you really go for it. And again, I created a 6-figure income in 14 months. Now, that's a little bit faster than average, but let me tell you, I was a stay-at-home mom. So I wasn't working a full-time job or going to school full-time and doing this. So, I don't really like to say, oh, for sure this or for sure that, because it's got to be customized to you. If you only have 4 hours a week, you're probably not going to get a 6-figure income in a year, but we can get you going, right? It will take you a little bit longer because 4 hours a week is obviously different than 20 hours a week or 30 hours a week. So we have to be realistic in the time that you have. But what I would say is if you only had 4 hours a week, I would be really sure that that 4 hours a week was being put to the exact right use for income producing activities. And you'll hear me say that a lot if you start to coach with me. So sometimes I'll have somebody say, oh, I alphabetize my oils. And I'm thinking, that's not an IPA. That is not going to make you any money, but you should have had a class or you should have made a phone call, something like that. So if you have tons of time, go ahead, alphabetize your oils. But if you have limited time, that's not going to be high on our priority list, right? It's just having to be customized to you. Now, this is a chart that is kind of ridiculous if you ask me, because if you look at this chart, the diamond rank happens in year 7, and that's a 180,000 average annual income. Okay, so again, that's an average. There are some what I call skinny diamonds who aren't making that much, and then there's the fat diamonds who are making more than that. This is kind of the average. You're not really making that the first time you hit it, but after a while. But they said 7 years. That is painfully slow. The average time, again, to get to diamond is 2 years. But that is if the person is putting in consistently 12 hours a week doing the IPAs, the income producing activities, which I would be training you very specifically on what those are, right? So that's the average. So if you're doing 6 hours a week, you're doing it faster, slower, it depends. This is painfully slow chart, right? This is like, I don't even know exactly who put this together. But they're comparing it to a 10-year plan if you're working in the corporate world, which at year 7, you've only increased your income by about $11,000, whereas in doTERRA, from year 1 to year 7, you've increased your income about $179,000. So it is mind-blowing what you can create with this, and I will tell you, it is absolutely available to you if you do it. And I have done it, and I've absolutely loved it. I am passionate about it. I am so passionate now about empowering people to change their lives. You can go as slow as you like. Just don't quit. You can go as fast as you like and change your life in record time, right? My daughter loves the idea that she can empower her generation at a younger age to live an extraordinary life, right? I mean, this whole 40 hours a week for 40 years and die broke just isn't really appealing to the young generation. And I think that a lot of us that found ourselves, we've seen our parents do that, and then we're kind of in that and we're saying, wait a minute, this is not exactly working out for everybody. And so things are starting to shift, and it's exciting and it's real. So I would just encourage you to look at this chart. I mean, honestly, what if it took you 10 years to start making $1 million a year? And that would be slow, but let's say you only had a few hours a week. What else are you going to do that's legal and make that kind of money at any point, right? So even if you did just chip away at this super slow couple hours a week, and in 10 years woke up and you were making $1 million, that'd be awesome. But you could also go faster. And that's what I'm here for, to help you customize a plan that will work for you and your situation. So are you ready to do this? Are you really, really ready? Because I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time if you're not ready. But if you're thinking to yourself inside, I'm so ready, I want a change. It is so simple. You simply open up a wholesale account. Really, that's all you have to do to start. Is just open up an account with doTERRA, with me. Then you're on my team. And then we start. We can go as fast or as slow as you want. But really, if you're feeling like, I can remember just feeling kind of in the pit of my stomach that this was going to change things. And I was ready for a change. And it was exciting. So the nitty-gritty details, because we have to have nitty-gritty details and make it all legit and happen. But it's $35 is a one-time fee to open up an account. Now, it's better to get an enrollment kit, because then the $35 enrollment fee is waived. So typically people will buy the enrollment kit and get the set of oils that is going to be the most effective for you to meet your health goals or health challenges, depending on what you have going on in your life or your family's life. And then you're going to get instant access to my team page, and you're also going to get instant access to my free weekly trainings and my webinars. Now, my weekly trainings, if the time zones work out, and I do have some awesome leaders on my team that are doing trainings as well in other time zones. So if you're in Europe or if you're in New York, you're going to get my awesome daughter. She's actually a rock star, so you might actually choose her. But those are done live. So that's not going to be you watching a recording. Now, I do make the recordings available if you're, really not able to hit one of the live trainings. But I really like to do live trainings where we can have some Q&As and back and forth and clarity and things like that. So you'll get all this instant access. So this is all you have to do to start. It is so simple, right? So if you're really just like, I just feel like I need to make a shift in my life, that's it, right? You'll get a free 30-minute call to set it up with me. Sometimes that go over 30 minutes because I like to talk. You might have noticed, but I get really excited. So, but if you only have 30 minutes, tell me at the beginning of the call that you have a, maybe you're on a break or something like that. You've got to let me know because I can go. But you get at least a 30-minute call with me to set up, right? Because we want to make sure that you do have a wellness consultation first. We get you that right kit that's going to be the right one for your lifestyle and for your family. Do you want to have a detox oils? Do you want to have the basic oils? Do you want to have the house cleaning oils? Do you want to start with a beauty regimen of oils? So there's so many different things that you can start with, and we want to make sure we get you the right one for you, of course. You're also going to get a free 45-minute introductory call with my social media team. Now, this is a limited time offer that they've been very generous to offer this for this webinar, and they're amazing. It's called Baker Mac, and they will help you with all of this, like, what do I do on Facebook? What do I do on Instagram? What do I do? Because this was all new to me, right? I had been just kind of living all over the world and raising kids, and so when I came into this, and people were like, oh, your passion is so contagious. You really need to go online, and I was like, what does that even look like? So they have helped me a lot, and they are willing to give you your first session for free. They'll talk to you about branding yourself and things like that. They're awesome, a lot of fun. So there's so much more. I mean, I could go on and on about all the things that you're going to get as a side effect to just saying yes to this, that it would be a whole nother webinar, but it is just an amazing opportunity. But that's not all. Just because I love empowering people and I love getting people excited, you're going to get the free mastermind sessions with me. So I will show you the concrete business steps that you can take. It is an absolute system that was actually originally created by some people who are the #1 income earners in doTERRA, actually, who are the ones who coach me personally. So I've taken what they have already meticulously created, and I've expanded on it just a little bit, added my own flair, so to speak, to it, but to help you start generating your own business leads, deep dive into my essential success strategies and steps, and then how to get out of your comfort zone and believe in yourself. I think personal development and leadership development are absolutely key in this business. And I always say to my team that, when you hit these certain ranks, it's just like every rank that you hit, you are just a better version of yourself. It's not that the money keeps growing, but you keep growing. I mean, by the time you're diamond, you are just like the most amazing person, right? You're still you, right? You don't change, but you just become this like polished, much better version of you. Like you're just showing up in the best way every time. You're just awesome and on naturally. And so that's the kind of thing that I want to help you with. And then I'm going to be cheering you on. If you decide to join me and you decide to take that step to be extraordinary, remember at the very beginning of this webinar, we said it, I want to be extraordinary. I am ready to be extraordinary. And the reality is, you were born extraordinary. We just have to maybe release it, right? We have to, sometimes it gets buried in life. It gets buried in reality and kind of hard knocks and things like that. So let's start peeling away some of that and let's step out into extraordinary again. And I'm going to be cheering you on every step of the way. I'm excited about that. I'm super excited about that. So if you decide to join right now, I'm going to send you a bottle of one of my favorite emotional oils, and it's called Cheer. And I don't even need to explain that to you, what that's going to do for you, right? So sign up today. 2 ways to start. So if you want to join right away, you know this is for you. You've maybe even been looking at some other companies or, making that decision and you're ready to go, then I just want you to click on the Join doTERRA button and you'll be directed right to the sign up page. it will ping me. I'm going to then send you an email. Okay, I'm going to send you an email asking you when's a good time for that call. And I don't do one of those automated calendar things because I hate those actually, because I live in China, right? And I don't know where you are. I don't know what time zone you're in. But I've done a couple of these where I've clicked on somebody's, schedule a call thing, and then it says put your time zone in. And so I'll put in, Shanghai, China, or whatever, and it gives me a choice that I can talk to somebody like between the hours of 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. So it doesn't really work for me. So I will actually send you an email asking you kind of about your schedule, and we'll align it with my schedule and we'll make it work. So that's how that's going to happen. There's not an automated calendar, and that's why, because it don't really work for me. If you have more questions and you're like, yeah, this kind of sounds okay, I'm not that sure. What does this really, really, really look like? What's it going to look like for you in particular? Let's schedule the free call, and I will talk to you personally and, answer any lingering questions that you have, and then we'll go from there. And I would love to do that. I actually would. So let's become extraordinary, because we were actually born extraordinary. We were born with a purpose. And if you're feeling like maybe you're not sure what that is, I can help you with that. If you feel like I know what my purpose is, but I'm not living that out because of finances or time or things like that, then this is for you. This is for you. If you want to live an extraordinary life, who's in? Who wants to be extraordinary? We've said it before. Say yes. Click now to start your new life. So just click on the links below, and I would love to talk to you. I would love to work with you. I would love to coach you, mentor you, cheer you on. I would love to see you step into your greatness and live that extraordinary life. I really, really would, because this is what it's about. This is one of my 3 awesome kids, but this is my sweet Kaylin. She is absolutely thriving on every level, and I gotta say a lot of it is because of doTERRA. So if you want to thrive on every level, then join me. So thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing from you.